What's the reasons why everyone keeps saying that Courtney and 50 Cent stole from this book to create the entire Power universe? I come to put this argument to rest, to lay it down and let you decide. I'm Gray Zach Tate, author of this book, Lost and Turned Out. This book was published by Darren Coleman in 2005. I wrote this book in 3 weeks in 2003. This is the original cover of the book. So, what I have on the board behind me is all the coincidences. So let me first start by saying that writers can be influenced. I wrote 23 books, a bunch of novels. Coach wrote New York Times bestsellers. You can be influenced by someone else's writing. Keep it in your mind subconsciously. Years later, when you're creating, believe that it is an original idea when in fact it is not. It is just recall from your subconscious, bringing it to the forefront of your conscious, and you thinking you being creative and nice, not realizing it's already been recorded in your brain. Your subconscious is always recording, even in your sleep. So did she dissect this book and say, I'm going to write this in the script, I'm going to write this in the script, I'm going to write this in the script? An argument could be made. So the reason I'm bringing this up, because for about the 40th time, somebody will be in prison, will read this book, reach out to me and say, big homie, why you not suing them? You could get a bag. Why aren't you filing a lawsuit? I don't know. I had this weird street loyalty thinking, 50 Cent come from the street and all this stuff. So had other things on my mind. Not to mention Eve Rivera, one of the directors of the Power series, used to be a very close associate of mine, right? Used to work in my barbershop. So in my mind, it seemed petty or whatever. But let's put it to rest. Let's just lay down the facts, and I'll let you tell me in the comments what you think. Okay, so book came out, wrote the book in 2003, right? Book came out in 2005. Your key character in the Power series, let's think about the first series, right? Is Ghost. My character's name is Jason, who moves like a ghost. His crime partner name is Webb. Ghost's wife name is Tasha. Ghost fall in love with a Latina named Zeta. So how does this transfer in the Power series? You have Jason is Ghost, Webb is Tommy and Kanan. Tasha is Tasha, and Zeta is Officer Angela Valdez. So the book starts in the summer of 1991 in Queensbridge, New York. All of them grew up in Queens together, starving and hungry, and had to find a way. Sound familiar? And Jason is the brains, and Webb, Jason is Ghost, Webb is Tommy and Kanan, is the psychopaths who just want to shoot, kill, and do anything for Jason, and then go back and want to read the book. So now we have a whole series called The Wrath of Canaan or The Life of Canaan. I don't watch it, so something of Canaan. All the clothes that I describe in this book, all the styles that I describe in this book, all the way that they move, talk, and function in this book back in 1991 is all throughout that series. Now in this book, starts in 1991, Jason goes to prison and has a 15-year jump from 91, 15 years later when he's released, and the story continues. However, in the beginning, Tasha over here now. Tasha is real foul. They in Queens. Ghost's whole ambition is to do crime, to be a legitimate businessman. He does everything he can to make the money from drugs and robbery, in my book, Jason, and moves Tasha out of the hood. Sound familiar? When Tasha gets moves out of the hood, she starts acting funny, start acting different, but constantly trying to control her man. Ghost needs to be legitimate. In the book, these are all the coincidences. I'll let you put it together because we have a short amount of time. Ghost goes to prison. Jason went to prison. Tasha cheats on him, causes drama, and gets Ghost locked up. Same exact thing with Jason in the book. Ghost falls in love with a Latina who gets pregnant and almost eventually dies. Same thing in Lost and Turned Out with Jason and Zeta. Ghost has legitimate business and wears a suit. Later on in the story, Lost and Turned Out, Jason is always in a suit, always legitimate, based on his woman who has all the connections, and he eventually gets into legitimate business and politics, real estate and politics. So now, here it is. Tommy kills people to drag Ghost in. Webb does the same thing. He's on the move. He's killing people. He don't care. He's about that money. He wants to get to that bag no matter what. And he keeps pulling Jason back in. The more Jason want to get away from him, he keeps pulling him in because of their childhood loyalty. Ghost, I said this before, Ghost deals in real estate and politics. Now, in the Book of Canaan, that's what it's called. The Book of Canaan, there is a scene that I saw where Canaan has a massive shootout with the police under the bridge. Exactly right out of the book. Lost and Turned Out. Webb has a massive shootout in Queensbridge, has to escape under the bridge, through the water, whatever. You don't know if he's alive until 15 years later he pops up. So, all of my sex scenes out of the book is all throughout. You've seen a sex scene in the Power series and you read the sex scenes in this book, you're going to be like, oh my God. Tasha's left for dead and Lost and Turned Out. Same thing in the Power. And the way that they grow up together, dismantle, yet are always interconnected. So now you have, in Lost and Turned Out, Webb is a psychopath that has his own team, starts making his own move. This is like power force. So, in a nutshell, is it possible that Courtney took pieces of this, built a skeleton, had other writers in the room to add their 2 cents because it's urban and so coincidental? Could she have went page for page, and this is her favorite book more than all other books in the world, and when she found, where's this guy that wrote this? Oh, he's not around? Okay, let me put this together in a script and see what happens. Because when we create, we don't know where it's going to go. We don't know what plan God has for us. And then it just goes. Now, am I supposed to file a lawsuit and say every dollar that Starz made, Courtney made, and 50 Cent made had to come to me? That would make me like a petty comment. Do I have rights to it? I'll let some legal person decide. But everybody that's trying to say that I'm capping and saying that I wrote the book in 2015 and all this other stuff, there's your evidence. You fight amongst yourselves and sort it out. I'm Great Zach Tate, the best writer, storyteller of this generation. That's all I got to say. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. If you want to find out for yourself, go to Amazon and get Lost and Turned Out. And you'll be like the 45th message telling me, yo, they stole your story.